Isabel, tell me one thing from crown molding that was difficult for you.
Cutting.
Cutting, what do you mean?
You're gonna have your miter saw on like
Right
a little
there.
piece of shelf.
Yep.
And there's the cabinet, and you're like, okay, that goes this way, okay, zip.
Right.
So when you're in your house, you look at it, and then you go to your miter saw, and now you're at a different angle than where your house is. You're like, which way was it? And then you make a little bit more mistakes.
Take a 45, and then you have to just leave that piece there. You're gonna come over to the other side and put this here and make a 45. Carlito, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Ideal!
Carlito, how you doing, sir?
Tired.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Whoa, I need more nails. Pain in the butt, that's what's going on. So, this is called crown molding. It's a nice little finish for these cabinets, so they just look a lot more professional. But they got some weird angles on them. So if you can see right here, this is actually where it sits. So when you put it up there, it's gonna be sticking out a little cocked. But once it's in there, it looks really nice. You can take a look at these cabinets, see what the finished work might look like. I still have to fill in some of these holes to make it look perfect, but
So
you get the idea.
over here on this one is what over here?
Well, first and foremost, the cuts have to be near perfect. So if this is, you can already see that this one, it's a little shorter. So I got a little bit of the surface sticking out. So my seam's not gonna be as crisp. So I'm thinking I might take this one out, to be honest, just to get a better joint connection. But I might be able to make it work. Still deciding, to be honest, but yeah, this stuff's just really fickle. It's like a puzzle piece. And then when you actually go to cut them outside, that's even weirder.
These are more of like less, these are more decorative cuts, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And it's easy to get angles and reveal mixed up in your head. So say when we go to cut this, I actually cut it like that. So I'm actually laying flat on the surface here. And when I do my angled cuts, that's how I get the angle. I gotta lay it flat, because if I do this, it's not gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be off. It's not gonna be the angle I want. So I have to bring it down, lay it flat on the surface, and then make my cut. So, fun stuff, crown molding. But everything else, the kids picked it up pretty quickly. Everyone's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, normally you wouldn't see stuff like this. It's some nice stuff. Especially since no one wants to work with it. At least that'd be my guess. I didn't really have a fun last couple of days, but we understand the job and we'll get it done. Yeah, it does feel pretty fulfilling. After fighting with it so much, it's nice to take a look back and say, you know what, I did that. It took me a while, but I figured it out. And it looks great, it looks nice. We still have some finished work to do. I'll be cutting a small piece to go up here on the cabinet. Just make it look all nice and uniform and pretty. Good stuff. So make sure you got it flat all the way when you do the single cut, because I'm pretty sure the angle might be a little off. I gotta recut a piece just because the crown molding is not fitting perfectly. So that's what sucks about this stuff. Quite honest, it's a little frustrating. It's first and foremost, it's new, so we're all working with it for the first time. But it's a lot of trial and error.
This work?
So another trial, another error. And that's still a little too long. Okay. Yeah, be able to make your cuts in here, work with what you got. Alright, so cut it a little longer than that. 3 times the charm, huh? That angle you have there is completely fine now, but now it's too long, so we're cutting it down to size. Yeah, I'm looking good on top, but it's sticking out on the bottom.
Try again.
Yep. I'm afraid to take too much because then I'm completely screwed. I have to cut a whole new piece.
Yeah.
But with all the weird angles and such, it's very difficult to get it to cut where you want it. I guess it's still new to me and I haven't figured it out yet. But say if I were to mark here and cut it to the mark, somehow, some way, it's like magic and it's off and not the size I wanted, even though I cut it right where the mark was. So it's beyond me, to be honest. Yeah, it is. Looking good. Yeah, it's true. If I get the bottom lined up, the top is sticking out. If I get the top or top lined up, then the bottom's thrown off. So again, it's a puzzle. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. It's a new thing to me. I'm trying to do my best, but it's a little hard because I'm getting flustered. This one was all janky. This whole corner is janky. So I don't really want to pull it apart. Oh well. And then you can't nail by yourself because you need to press the guard in, so I gotta wait for Emilio to get here. Getting the corners to line up is the challenge. It's gotta be right on the seam. If it's too short or too tall, it's not gonna line up perfectly. So it's gotta be a perfect cut. With all these angles, it makes everything that much more of a pain. It's close. I'm off like a 16th. Closer to an 8th, really.
And I'm gonna just put.
Still too long. Just a tiny, tiny bit more. Almost there, Miguel. Well, to all the future students coming to Ideal, there's gonna be tough days. And to be honest with you guys, there've been very few for me, but today is one of them. And it's when you're usually working with something that's really difficult, takes plenty of trial and error. And as you mentioned, Edgar, it is all about persistence. At the end of today, I know that this is gonna be finished and it's gonna feel good. As of right now, I might be a little peeved, but you know, we're human. Do what you need to, take a laugh, take a break. But stick to your guns and it's gonna pay off, and that feeling's gonna be so sweet afterwards. It's all about how you react to it. It's really easy to quit and say, I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna have someone else do it, blah, 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 but after I get it done, I'll have some experience with crown molding. I don't think I personally want to work with it again, but if that's the job, I'll be able to get it done. So it's most important. Stick to your guns, kids.
We had just finished filming the back end of the previous video.
Yeah.
Your brother, the amazing Emilio, comes in.
Yeah,
and he lays in a piece, and then what did you see, man? You saw progress. That's why I wanted to put the mic back on you. So show me what you got.
right. This guy right here, he keeps me grounded to reality. You know, if I'm getting a little worked up, he's good at bringing me back down.
Nothing like a
So-
good brother, right?
Yeah, thanks Emilio for that.
And then so he produced a glimmer of hope. What do we have here, man?
And more importantly, thank you for making this cut, you know. Emilio took the liberty to get this complicated piece in. So as you can see, we got two angles here, both leaning towards the left. But this side comes inward, this side goes outward, the way the slope is. So, but once we get it nailed in there, it's gonna be perfect.
When you see moments like this, does it give you a glimmer of hope and does it lift you up a little bit?
Definitely a sigh of relief. Maybe able to breathe a little bit more. Also knowing that it's 3 more pieces. That's the most complicated one. So we get that one in, we get these 2 in. That's it.
Cool. But
We can move on to something.
Could we have gotten to this point without the persistence from you both?
Oh, no. And I'm glad we stuck to it. So, because here it is. Looking good.